Hey, welcome to How It Plays. I'm your host, Anthony.
And I'm Francis, and today we are playing Corrosion.
Before we jump in, though, take us to the primer.
All right. In Corrosion, players are rivaling factory owners competing to build the most resilient widget machines. Players will score points and gain resources by building short-term machines, but these cheap metal machines and resources quickly corrode away due to the factory's reliance on steam. Players ideally want to build chrome machines, which provide passive benefits that last much longer, but they come at a much higher price. Central to the game is the player's factory. This tableau of sorts dictates which section is active and therefore which machines will run, which resources will corrode away, and which engineers will return to the player's hand. Each turn, the player can either play a card or turn their corrosion wheel, activating Section X. If a player plays an engineer, the engineer is placed into the section corresponding with their value, and the benefit is taken. The engineers are crafted in a way that higher-powered engineer actions effectively make you wait longer to retrieve them, as you must complete several turns of the corrosion wheel to return them to your hand. After the player takes the engineer action, all other players have the chance to copy that action by discarding an engineer of the same suit in a higher level. The main resources in the game are steam and gears. Gears can be small, medium, or chrome. Small and medium gears are placed in Section 3 for storage, and if you haven't used them by the time the corrosion wheel's X arrives, they corrode away and are lost forever. Chrome gears last forever but are much harder to obtain. Most machines will require a combination of gears, but some machines require steam and engineers as well. Steam is housed in your boiler and is not easy to obtain. When you spend steam, you don't lose it, but the water token does fall to the cold bottom of your boiler until you generate steam again. Players will earn points primarily by building chrome machines, and also by meeting the requirements of endgame award tokens. Point markers can also be earned throughout the game as a benefit of some machines and engineering. And special point tokens are available to earn as players build chrome machines and rotate their corrosion wheel a full cycle. These special point tokens are limited and also serve as the game's timer. Whose factory will stand the test of time? Find out now as we show you how it plays.
All right. Now that you understand corrosion and how this beast of a game plays,
Yeah.
we're going to jump right into it. So, corrosion, we are factory owners, as you know, building machines
Yes.
in a time where metal just rots away.
Yeah, well, we're using steam, right? So steam and metal don't get along.
Yeah, so it's like steampunky, right? So we're steampunk factory worker owners, and we have
Yes.
a bunch of engineers that we've got, starting engineers. We're going to be able to hire some qualified engineers, because I guess these are unqualified.
They're like
They're
interns,
disqualified
I guess.
engineers, yeah. And then we'll be able to, build all sorts of crazy machines. So take a look at the table. We'll go over setup really quick for 2 players, and then we're going to jump right in and get to it. So each of us has a player board. You're going to notice they're a little bit different orientation. They typically go like this. But as you can see, this could get unwieldy with what
With
we
the
have to
camera.
show on camera. So we're going to keep them like this. It doesn't really matter, as long as you can get to these corners, because that's where all of our machines are going to be built, as well as on our little factory board here. We have a dial in the center, starts with the 3 to the right. So this is it's more of a timer, if you will.
Very much so, yeah.
That will turn, and we'll explain that as we do it. Right now, we each start with 1 small, 1 medium gear, as well as 1 chrome gear. 3 green victory points, 1 steam in the hot tank, 2 water just waiting to be heated up. We have our supply of white victory points, or special victory point tokens. Those are the timer for endgame.
Right.
When we get down to 3 of those remaining, that signifies endgame, and then we'll go through how that basically shakes out. We have special advanced achievement, award
yeah,
tokens,
award
award tokens. that we're going to be able to claim during the game at some point. Basically, the only way to really get them is through one of these machines.
Yeah,
I think
cards and engineers
these
will do it.
one-time machines,
Yeah.
which we'll go through in a bit. But if we get that piled down to 3, that also indicates end game. We have our supply of standard and advanced chrome machines. We have our qualified workers. We have our one-time machines. One-shot machines. And we have our turning machines. So yes, there's a lot of stuff going on here. As I said earlier, we have our starting deck of these starter engineers. They're basic. They are not the same.
Yes, there's 4 decks. So there's A, B, C, D decks. And they're equitable, but not exactly equal, I guess you could say.
Exactly. They're all they're different because it really feeds into how you can play off each other, right? So and not every game plays the same way, because if you all have the same things, it's really going to be stale. So we each have 2 of each suit, and the suits are basically, you call them the green, the blue, and the orange. And if you have trouble with the colors, they do have different shapes at the top of them, so you can identify which ones are which. But they have different values. We'll go over how that works as well. We are just going to take turns back and forth. On our turn, we're going to have some secondary actions we can do at different phases. But for the most part, we're going to have to do an action, like the main action phase, which is to play a card and take the action on the card, or
turn your wheel.
Turn the wheel.
Turn the wheel.
Turn the wheel. Crank the dial, and we'll show you what that means when we get to it as well. So, being that you're always player 1, you can be player 1 today too.
Okay, good. We might as well,
Why
right?
not? Yep.
Why mess with a good thing?
Yes. Seems to work.
All right. So I will start off by playing an engineer. So the way this works is, again, like Anthony said, all of these engineers have numbers on them. That correlates with the section where they're going to be assigned, I guess, if you will. So she is a Sector 2 worker, so she's going to go up here in Sector 2. Her icon tells me that I can take one of these one-shot machines, which I am going to do. I don't have to build it right now, but I'm going to take it and put it in my workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one, which will award me 2 chrome wheels, or
Gears.
2 chrome gears, right? These are always going to go in Sector 3. Pretty much everything you obtain in this game, resource-wise, with the exception of the chrome gears and your victory points, is going to go in Sector 3. And that allows you to kind of like, you have to use it before the X gets to what will become Sector 3, and that'll make more sense when it happens.
Yeah.
The second thing that's going to happen now, I have some other actions that I could take. I can spend Steam to do some other things, but I'm not going to do that yet. You can actually copy this action, which is taking one of these one-shot machines.
So once you take, you do refill.
Yeah, if you have and want to play a higher level
Higher level card of the same suit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was looking for that word.
Yes. So if I had, say, a blue 3 in my hand, which I don't, I could play a blue 3 here and copy that action and take another one-shot machine for myself.
Yep.
Is it worth it? Maybe, maybe not. But usually the 3s are the more powerful, better cards in my opinion. So I don't always like to do that. So her turn's over. Basically, it's my turn. I have the same choices now. I can play a card in my hand. It could be any card. It doesn't really matter. So I think what I'm going to start by doing is, yeah, this is an interesting play. I'm going to try this. I don't normally do this, but so I'm playing a 3, and a 3 is going to go here, and that 3 is allowing me to recruit a special qualified engineer, right?
Okay.
Now, the trick with the qualified engineer is I can take any one of these 3. If I choose to take the 4, though, or the 4 plus, there's different cards of the 4 and 4 plus variety. They're the most powerful cards. They have a more expensive price tag, right? Normally, I just take the card and I'm good. It goes right in my hand. Yeah, so I do have to pay a premium. So what it does cost me is 1 water, 1 steam. So I have to exhaust one of my steam. I also have to pay a green victory point.
Yes.
And that tells you right up here.
Right.
Victory point gets torn in half. It's a cost, but these guys are powerful.
Sign-on bonus or something.
Yeah, so that's the price you got to pay sometimes for good help.
Okay.
And I'm not going to do anything special, so it's your turn.
Excellent, excellent. I think I will. Thinking if I want to get a turning machine yet, and I don't know that I do. Let's do this. I'll just play this 2, and that's just going to get me. It's going to allow me to make 2 steam. So I'm going to take these 2 water at the bottom of my boiler and generate 2 steam. So
And that was a
that was an orange 2.
orange too. All right, so I'm going to see. I have a choice. I can copy that, and I think I will. So I'm going to play my 4, and they go into sector 4, and you got to play them upside down. It's
Yes.
There's a reason for that because the thing has to, because sector 4 typically exhausts everybody, but
Yeah.
in this case, because they start in 4, that has to go all the way around
you
and
don't
get
wanna
back
exhaust
to them before I get them back, and that's just, it's so you keep trying. You only have to do the 4s to the 4 pluses. So this one is going to let me copy, because it's a higher number, that action and make 2 steam. So that was my copy action.
Cool.
Which is
You used your brand new engineer to do that?
cool. Why not?
Okay.
Got to put them to use somehow.
I guess so. Let's see. Let's see. These people let me take more people. These engineers out here. That's not bad. Maybe I'll do that. So I'll spend my 3. It's a blue 3 in sector 3. And I will take like one of these extra take a person cards. So I'll take this one here.
All right.
And that comes right into my hand too. There you go.
All right, you good?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to play this 3, and this is a take a chrome machine. So I can take any one of these wonderful chrome machines, and I'm going to go ahead and take this one on the end and grab the victory point with it.
Okay.
Right, so I can choose to place it on the corresponding shape and cover that up, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to place it here, and that's what you're allowed to place them off to the side, because once you build them here, you can't move them
Yeah.
again.
Do you want to refresh that and put your
Yep,
point
so
out?
this moves over, this comes down, and a point will go here. That'll
Perfect.
happen every time. Every time we grab a chrome machine, a point goes onto into the offer. Again, that's the timer.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what else is out there. Ooh, I like that one. That's kind of nice. Maybe
So
I'll
did
do
you want to
this
copy
one.
my 3?
No, I don't want to copy that.
Okay.
I should probably just do
Here's
that
the catch.
myself.
I know she doesn't have any 4s because you don't start with any 4s, and she didn't grab
I
any
didn't
4s,
grab
so I
one,
know she
so-
can't even copy my 3s, so that's
Yeah.
just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. You're so smart.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to play my 3 as well and take a chrome machine 2. I'm going to take this one.
All right, so with chrome machines, that's the advanced one, and these are definitely more
Yeah.
powerful.
But they're more expensive.
More expensive to build, and every time you take a chrome machine, you bring a point down.
Exactly. And let me think. Wait, I might
Doing
go
that.
ahead and spend. I know, but you like to do stuff. I'm going to do this and actually build. Do I want to do that yet? Nah, I guess I'll just wait. I'm going to build my one-shot machine. but
Well,
I'm
I
not
didn't think
really
you were
into
going to do that, so
Okay.
I kind of knew what was coming. All right, that's, I don't really like any of those.
Oh, these turning machines?
No, even the one-timers.
I know.
So you get 1 per.
You can pay a Steam to ditch.
To ditch, yeah, that's not really
So expensive.
worth it for me. I kind of do want a machine though. All right, you know what? I'll take one. I'll take a turning machine.
Okay.
I'll play 2 up here, and I will take this turning machine. And it always goes, like we said, sector 3. There's a place for a turning machine. There's a place for a one-time machine, and
Yes,
you can build as many as you
vintages.
want, as far out as you go. And the turning machines, once you build them, like there's no building it. It's done. It's activated. With the one-times, you have to put it out, and then you actually have to build it. You activate it or whatever, and there's a cost.
Yes. Great. I would like that. Okay, I will, I'll also play a 2 turning machine, get a turning machine card. And I'll get, I don't know if I want to grab one of these, like make water. I mean, it's good. I guess
It's not bad,
good.
yeah, because that way it
Okay.
gives you more free actions.
Yeah.
And free actions by meaning you can basically move these things around your board. You kind of like speed them up in time, and that'll make
Yeah,
sense later when we start doing that.
exactly.
All right, are you good?
No, I'll just go ahead and do this now, just so I'm not doing it later. I'm going to spend these 2 and also spend a steam to build my one-shot machine.
Okay.
So that will activate once the X reaches its
Once the X reaches the sector. When the X reaches the sector, this thing goes clockwise. It will activate everything in that particular sector.
Yep.
And because you're building everything in 3, it's going to take some time. And that's just,
Yeah.
all of this represents time.
And maybe I'll spend another one and I'll move this over. So this is the other thing that you can do with your extra actions. You can spend 1 steam to move either an engineer, a turning machine, or a one-shot machine to the left, so
Right.
counterclockwise.
Closer to
the X.
the sector
so
that's going to
closer
be
to
coming.
activation.
Right,
Basically.
because those things don't activate until it hits. So now, like we said, you can do that stuff, but you can also do other things, right? So, for example, like I could turn my wheel now if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to take one of these. I'll take this one here
Okay.
and bring that into sector 3. And I'll spend a water because that's all it costs to build this. Boom, and immediately build that.
Okay. You done?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna spend a 3 and grab this.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
All right. What I'll do is, so I'm going to turn the dial.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. Right? So I spun the wheel.
Yep.
This is sector 4. All my workers would come back. My
Like sector
machines.
X,
Yeah, sector X,
basically.
rather, or 4. My turning machines all activate because I turned it. I do have 1 turning machine, so I can spend a smaller medium gear and a steam to get a chrome cog, and I'll
that's
do
good.
that. I'll dump my small one, and I will take a chrome gear. Chrome gears don't ever go away.
Yeah.
Now here's a
that's why they're
catch.
kept, yeah.
Every time you gain resources on your turn, it goes into sector 3.
Yeah.
And if it ever gets to X, and that's where you store them in that warehouse. So if X ever gets to a sector where there are gears that are not chrome, obviously you don't even keep chrome here because it's not timed, they will actually go away. You lose them. So you have to
Yeah.
spend them before the wheel gets around. So so that was it. So I don't really activate anything other than my turning machine because
Yeah.
I don't have anything in this sector. But now sector 3 is here, right? So that changes everything.
It changes everything.
It does. It really does change everything.
All right. I'm gonna play this here, and that just gives me a chrome.
Oh,
gear.
1 chrome
Just
gear?
gives me a
It just
chrome
gives you
gear.
a chrome
Yeah.
gear. Okay, that's quite an action.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
And I'm thinking whether I want to move that again, and no, I'll leave it.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so I'll go ahead and play this. So now this is sector 1, mind you, and I'm going to grab I'll grab a small gear. Maybe I'll grab a medium gear. And now 3 is actually here. So you just have to keep in mind where your things go. So you can copy that,
What was that?
as per usual.
I
this
can't, yeah.
one thing. Okay.
I am going to play a 1 right here, and just grab a small gear, please.
Small gear.
Yep.
And there you go.
And I'm going to spend, it's going to go in 3. I'm going to spend a steam to move this here. So move my engineer over there.
Okay. That's
And
it.
that's it. All right. I have no cards left, so I guess I'm turning.
No, you just finished your turn.
What?
It's my turn, actually. Remember, you just finished.
Oh, yeah.
You want to just go again?
I just want to go again.
Okay, so I guess I will play this, and I will generate 2 steam.
Okay.
And I think that's all I want to do. I think it's all I can do. That's a can-do attitude. Okay.
That's a can-do attitude if I ever heard one.
Yep. Now you can do your crank the wheel.
I crank my wheel? I really wanted to. Okay. Crank my wheel. So my turning machines are going to activate, so I get to generate a steam. And then, okay, cool. I'm going to take these guys back. I was thinking if I was going to do any extra stuff, but
That's
I
it?
am not.
Great.
So in the beginning of this game, and there's a lot of things that you can do in this game, I really just started trying to acquire resources the best that I could.
I know that I had a lot of chrome pieces going on in the beginning, and I knew that I would need them, and I did end up using them. But I was trying to figure out, how am I going to maximize my points and also get as many resources as I can, knowing that some of those, like turning machines and stuff, were being taken, so they were not on offer. I had a lot of steam generation going, and that's also useful. Not entirely what I needed at all points during the game, but definitely having those chrome pieces helped out a lot in the beginning.
So what I was thinking early on in this play was really just how can I take advantage of what's coming out, because you're basically limited to what's in the offer of your turning machines as well as your one-shot machines, because that's really how you generate resources in this game. And I think I had a good run in the early game with hitting as many turning machines as I could to generate a lot of gears.
Moving on to kind of mid-game, I ran out of my Steam acquisition, so I wasn't able to build my Steam as quickly. But I tried to make sure that I was collecting as many of those turning tokens as I could, the turning machines, so that I was constantly at least having something generating. And I think that's probably the biggest mistake that you can make in this game, is not having turning machines available to you. They don't cost anything to build. At the very least, they're giving you something that you could hopefully use later on. So having those out is absolutely incredibly important.
But I was able to build a lot of the chrome machines early on. But at some point mid-game, that dried out. And I stopped getting gears all of a sudden, and I wasn't able to start building my machines. So you make this shift at a certain point where you find yourself advancing your timer, your wheel, more than playing cards.
I also was looking at the end game tiles, so we were looking at the achievement tiles at the end, and I saw that there was the one about collecting sets of workers, and some of the engineers that I had acquired in the beginning allowed me to acquire more engineers. I think you were even saying, like, why are you taking so many people? Like, well, that's what my people are letting me do, is take more people. So I tried to capitalize on that, and I think that worked out to my advantage as well. Really, my goal was to progress the game. If you don't progress the game in a game where you are required to progress the game will take forever. So I knew getting those, every little point in this game matters. So I just tried to take the chrome machines that had points on them, whether I really needed them or not. And if I needed them, then that was even better. But I think that was pretty much it. I noticed that you shifted your wheel a lot more revolutions than I did.
I did. I definitely did. And I was doing it to trigger a lot of my turning machines, right? When I didn't have to, I could have used Steam to do that, but I was using Steam for other things. So you really have to decide how you want to leverage the generation of resources in this game, because you really want to start targeting the chrome machines. And I was pulling chrome machines as fast as I could because, like you said, the generation or the acquisition of those white victory points in this game is what drives the end game, and you want to keep pushing that timer, because you'll really just keep taking turns until you're out of cards. And if you play this game till you run out of cards before you turn the wheel and get or take those, because you can only buy one of those basically once per round of cards, because you don't have that many cards or engineers that are allowing you to grab those chrome machines.
Right.
So if you think about it, you've got 20 plus of those tokens for a two-player game, which means you're going to have to pull 20 plus of those things, or do 4 revolutions of your wheel to take one of those things. Okay. All right, so your turn.
My turn. All right, I'm going to. I wish I could build that first. Okay. Well, that kind of sucks the way this is timed out, but that's actually it's not so bad. Okay, I'm gonna turn the wheel. Cranking the wheel. Well, lots of things are gonna happen. This is gonna trigger. I'm gonna get 3 green points plus 1 hot water token.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. I can. Then I turn the wheel so I can crank this. I'm taking back lots of 2s. So I can do that and get 3 points. This turning machine activates. I get 1 medium, but then it goes away.
Okay.
And I also get a medium for this. So I
Okay.
should get 2 mediums. Into sector 3.
Done.
Make sure we're good here. I get 1 special point, most importantly, because that's going to trigger
End
the
game.
end of the game.
Yep. So we are now in the last phase. We'll explain that in a second.
Yeah, and I want to see if there's. I don't think there's anything else I want to or can do right now. So
That's a can-do attitude.
there's a can do. That's a can't do attitude.
Can't do. All right, so you're good.
I am good.
All right, so now
Explain how this works.
From this
Yeah.
point forward, each of us is going to be able to take a turn, but
Yeah.
every turn we take is going to cost us 1 victory point, then 2 victory points, then 3 victory points. So your first, second, third point
Yeah.
turn consecutively. After the third turn that you pay 3 victory points for, you have to pass. That's it. Your game's over.
Right.
So, or I could just pass right now and my game's over, and then you could take
Exactly.
3 consecutive turns and pay 6 points altogether.
Right.
But I'm going to pay 1 point because I definitely want to take at least 1 turn.
Yeah.
So there's my point. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't have cards, so I have to crank my dial. So I'm going to grab these back. We did a turn. So a turn is going to at least give me some steam.
You did a
And
turn.
I
you cranked
turned.
it. Okay,
I
got it.
turned the dial. So I do get to activate my machines, my La Machine. But unfortunately, I don't have any gears. Like, I've got no resources, which is brutal. Youch, that hurts. So what I can do is pay a steam to get a card, to play a card rather, and I'm going to play this 2, which will allow me to generate 2 more steam.
Okay.
And that ends my turn. So you can take your turn for a point.
All right. So I can pay a point. And I can.
But you don't want to pay that one.
Oh yeah, I was trying to pay the white points.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Nope.
I am gonna pay a point. A couple things that I want to do here. So I will do this first. I'm gonna go up here and get a chrome piece. But you can actually take this one because I'm gonna use those 2 chromes to build this chrome machine here. So that's built. And I'm not gonna use any steam to do anything else. You can go.
So you're good?
Yeah, I'm
All right.
good.
I'm going to play a card
For 2 points.
for 2 points. Yeah. I'm going to do all 3 of my turns, just so you know.
Okay.
And I'm going to get 2 medium cogs. Yeah, I'll go with 2 mediums. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. And I'll pay 2 points. So you can just give me 1 back to play her into 3. Which lets me push up 3 of my waters. And just
Good?
That's it, yeah.
All right, last turn for 3 whopping points. I'm going to crank the dial one more time, but it's going to activate some stuff. It's not enough. I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do.
No.
No.
Is it worth giving up the points then?
Yeah, because I'm going to get 3 points back for doing this, plus another 2 for taking the steam, right?
How are you going to get 2 for taking... Oh, because of your thing. Yeah. Okay.
So that's actually worth it.
Okay.
And I get a 3-pointer. So that's that. What I wanted to do, unfortunately, was build this. But I don't have enough cogs, and that's the problem. Because I turned it, but I didn't generate any cogs.
When you turned.
By turning it. I
yeah,
just don't.
You didn't have any of the
I can generate
turning
steam.
things. Yeah.
But, I can do this,
Okay.
actually. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend 2 steam, because I get to activate these both.
Okay.
And pay 2 cogs.
Okay.
And
so you
get
2
2
chrome.
silver cogs.
Okay.
Right? And all I need is 2 silver cogs and 1 medium to build that.
Okay. So where are you getting your medium
Because I'm going to spend a steam to play a card.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I'm going to play this to get 1 medium cog.
Okay.
Which, in turn, I could spend 2 plus 1
because of your discount.
Because of my discount to build that.
Okay.
That's my big finale.
There you go. Your big
my
final
big sweeping
engine
finale. So I can do it. I did pull it off.
Chrome engine.
It probably is all for naught, but it was.
Well, let's find out.
It was
let's
a big ending. Well, you get a turn.
Oh, I'm done. I'm
you're
not
done.
taking any more turns.
Okay, excellent. So we need to do some final scoring.
Yeah, let's
all
get
right,
out
so
that
let's get the score
handy-dandy
pad
scoring
and we'll get
pad.
to work. All right, here we are. Final scoring.
Very easy scoring.
Okay. Yeah, it really is actually. So what is the first thing we're scoring?
So the first thing we're going to score is our points. So your little white special points and your green.
Oh, I don't have very many.
Oh, okay. All your special green points. Let's see. How many do you have?
15.
Okay. Now you're going to score your chrome machines, which I know you have a lot of those.
That you've built. That
The
are
ones that are
only
built,
the ones
the
that are
green
green.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a lot of those.
26.
Okay. And then finally our achievements. So whatever your achievements were, you scored those too.
Oh, okay.
Which you got. Which ones did you have? Remind the audience.
So I have 2 points per water.
Okay.
Well, per hot water.
Hot water.
And I didn't have them all, so I only get 2 points. I didn't have them all in my
Oh,
heat.
boo.
I didn't.
You didn't? I thought you pushed them all up.
I had to use them to push my stuff around.
Oh, that sucks.
So 2 points. That's all right. No big deal.
Okay.
Although
And then your other one was.
I get 2 points per.
Of one suit, right?
Yeah, so advanced
count 'em up.
worker, right? So these qualified engineers of the same suit.
Yeah.
So whenever I have I have to just name a suit. So I'm going to name the suit of green, I think, which I don't have very many of. So I've got 1, 2. Remember, these are only the ones with the top hats.
Yes.
All right, there you go. So I'm going to get 2 points per. I get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
10
Yeah.
plus your 2.
Choose one suit and gain 2 points for each qualified engineer you have of that suit,
Okay.
including engineers of the wild suit. So I get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points.
Okay.
That's it.
So that's 12 altogether.
Yeah,
With
for
your 2
my
points.
yeah for all of them.
All right. I also have the 2 points per boiler.
Mm-hmm.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 for that. Mm-hmm. And then this one is gain 4 points for each set of engineers that consists of 3 qualified engineers of different suits. Only 1 wild per set allowed. So I have 1 set here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who are these people? These are my standard people. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So that's 8 points.
2 sets. Yep.
18 points. Okay.
Mm.
So, math time.
Math time. Okay, so
All of our phones are being used.
do the math.
6, 8, 13.
Would you like me to do the math?
So, why? Well, it would be better if you wouldn't talk. Yeah, just go ahead and do the math then. Whenever you yell numbers out, I can't think. So
53.
he's like, looks like I won.
66. No, so 66 to 53.
That's close.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It actually wasn't bad at all. I thought
No.
I did far worse than
No.
that. But All right, let's go talk about it.
All right.
All right, well, there you have it. Corrosion.
What did you think?
What did I think?
Now,
Well,
this is like we've kind of had hands on this game a couple times now.
yeah, so look,
We've
I'm,
had a journey with this one. I think.
yeah, and it's really an interesting game, and it's just it's one of those games that really when you start to play it, and this is what gets me about these types of games is that you have this sort of end game, which is like, okay, we just need to whittle these white victory points down to three.
Yeah.
And that pile of victory points is big.
It's like so big.
So I'm like, is this unnecessarily long?
Like, is this game actually ever going to end?
Right. Like, and so I think my first impression is that it's a little long in the tooth in that aspect, right? Because you're really, and I mean, while I do appreciate the strategy, and I think there's a lot of neat mechanics there, I think there are a lot of very samey mechanics in a lot of the machines, right? This is
Right.
my opinion because
Yeah.
like you've got like 3 different types of turning machines. That's pretty much it. You're going to get gears.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, you're basically just going to get gears
Gears and Steam.
and steam.
Those are the two. Yeah. Because I got a lot of those. You took a lot of the gears.
There's not many steam. We'll put it that
Right.
way. There's like 3 of them in this stack, right? Mostly it's gears. It's either the small gears, the medium gears, or let me trade
Yeah.
a small or medium gear plus steam for a chrome gear.
Right.
That's it. So that's
Yeah.
your gear engine, I guess, right? So that's one bit. And then the other piece is like a lot of weird sort of bonuses and this and that for the one shot machines. So while that's pretty cool too, and you got to use them to sort of get your bonus thing. So there's this sort of interesting mechanic of timing them, but to me it's kind of disjointed. That's my personal opinion.
I would say, especially at the beginning of the game,
Yeah.
where like I don't know how to put this. Basically, like if you take this out, you learn it, you bring it to the table. It's game night, right? Everybody learned the rules, and everybody's starting to play. It's going to take more than just one play to appreciate the strategy of this game. Not that it's necessarily complex. I don't actually think that this is particularly heavy to play. It's just complex in you're doing a lot of tiny little things to try and result at something sort of kind of big at the end. Like not even really big,
But even
just
your
like to
big
get points.
payoffs aren't really that
and
big.
I think we'd mentioned that during the
Yeah.
during our play. It's like you do these little things, but they're not like you said, they're not big payoffs,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's not that rewarding, like, look at my machine, it's running.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've got this big engine
Yeah.
that I built and it's doing this cool thing. It's more, okay, I'm going to push this chit down to get something else so that I can do this other thing next turn. And it's just a bunch of small baby steps.
It's a lot of little
all the way
actions.
to the end.
Yep, the whole way. And that's kind of what I mean by disjointed, because you're
Okay.
doing so many unrelated things
Right.
to get to build something that's unrelated to anything else that's in your factory.
Right.
Right? None of it's related. And you can kind of feed them off of each other, but not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like,
I don't know.
Going back to my point about like the experience with this game, I think that if you're going to get it and play it, and you're going to dedicate to playing it over and over and over until you really understand
Mm-hmm.
how all of this works, then maybe that's the kind of game that you get into.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to bring this out for like game night, I personally feel like you might get halfway through it and everybody's kind of like, is there anything else that we can play?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because it takes a while to like really get into it. And even when it gets rolling, it's kind of humming along.
Yeah.
Like you don't get that sense of escalation and escalation of, because there's a lot of games I think we play that they're very slow in the beginning and then they ramp up and you can feel that ramp up and it's exciting and you're like,
about
the
to
end's
seal
coming,
something big.
and you're gonna pull off that big move.
Yeah.
I think that the move you pulled off at the end was probably like the biggest
That's
move
about
we've
as
ever
big
done
as
in
you'll
this
ever
game.
get. Yeah.
But and even that wasn't like
Like, what did it get me? It got me 5 points. Like, at the end of the, like, you pull
Right.
off a big move like that to get 5 points, where I could have probably just skipped my entire last
Right.
turn and got my 5 points.
Yeah.
And kept it, right? Like, but I wanted it to be exciting. It's just the payoff wasn't that big. But like you said, it's a bunch of baby steps. So it's like running a marathon, right?
Yeah.
And that goal line is just like, the finish line is
so
just out
far
there,
away.
man. And you're just taking one step at a time, one step at
Yeah.
a time. You're drinking the water and you're going, and the finish line is just, it's there. And you're
Right.
like, man, you're just chipping away one step at a time to get there.
Yeah.
I just think that the goal, the timer on this is just, I think it's a little too long, especially for 2 players. Like, this game, I think would have been more enjoyable for me if it were about half the length.
Yeah, I would say so too. And I think that would, I mean, it'd be interesting to like, I guess, experiment with, like to see if maybe, because again, I don't feel any different at the end of the game than I did halfway through the game.
Exactly.
Like once I built a couple of these crow machines, I was like, okay, cool. Look
I'm
what
good.
I did.
Yeah,
I
I'll
did
build,
this thing.
like, after I build 3 of them, I think I'm kind of good.
But they didn't really like build off of each other. Maybe that's my fault.
That
The
goes
strategy
back to
goes
the
back to destroying
disjointed.
thing.
Yes, and because I even just looking at all the different types, it's like,
Yeah.
could you build sort of engine out of this? Maybe, but they come out randomly, so
Yeah.
it's not like you're going to be burning them, because if you start burning them, then you're accelerating the game anyway at that
Exactly.
point, and you're not really going to get to what you
Right.
need to. So I don't know. I mean, look, it's not that I didn't enjoy the game. I do. I think that there's a solid game here. I think there's some pretty interesting strategies because it's different.
Yeah.
The whole time mechanism and managing your resources before they go away. The strange way of gathering resources and the different types of machines, I think they're all cool. But it's not like you're building, and just keep in mind, you're not, I went into this thinking I'm going to build one big cool
That's what I wanted
machine.
to talk about too, because I think expectations are
Yeah,
important
and I think
to
that's
explain.
exactly, and I think that's where for me it didn't click, because it's not. I wanted to build one big cool machine,
Yeah.
and this was building a bunch of little baby machines. Like I said, that don't really do anything with each other. They just kind of help you
Build other
generate
machines.
a little baby piece to build another machine that builds another baby piece.
Right, to build another
To
machine.
another baby piece to build another machine that builds another baby piece. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the payoff. And for me, that's not what
just
I
not enough.
that's not what I look for. I need more than that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But
Yeah.
this is our opinion.
Yeah, I think that I will say a couple things that, again, to reiterate, a couple things were really neat and I think unique, because we don't see a lot of unique stuff
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of games. The whole corrosion mechanic is cool.
Very
you have
cool.
to it takes a while to get to understand it, I think, because thematically, again, going back to your disjointed thing, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, I don't, like, I get what it symbolizes, but I also don't understand, like are the sectors moving, or like the workers are going in? I get that the workers are going into the sectors, but like, are they showing up on that floor, or like what thematically is going on that's causing?
Maybe it's like shifts. It's their
Shifts or something.
time.
I don't
Like
know.
they represent days or weeks. Like here's
Maybe.
one
I
week,
don't
and
know.
now I'm going to transfer this guy over
Yeah.
to another department to work, or this lady to another department to work, so that she can come home earlier.
Yeah.
And do more work in a different department. Like
Right.
so maybe like there's a certain theme there with
And
the
I
time,
but the
and that's
thing
cool.
is, I liked the aging thing. I liked that the resources actually go away if you don't use them, because that
Yeah.
really pushes you to do it. I like that you can, make your machines move to different sectors. Again, didn't understand thematically what that meant exactly, but
No.
again, you're getting them closer to destruction. I guess maybe you're running them. One thing I don't think you saw us do was move the turning machines from one sector to another.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you can actually activate them. So they're getting the same number of activations. It's just a matter of, are you turning the wheel and activating them, or are you
Moving the
moving
machine.
them
Yeah, so
prematurely?
There's
So
a lot of different strategy baked
it's a
into
lot of
this, right?
strategy baked in, but I think that it would probably be more fun if it was shorter play length,
Yeah.
so that you're just churning through.
I'd rather the machines
quickly.
have been, the Chrome machines have been harder to build and have
Yeah.
a bigger point payoff, and then cut the victory point timer in half. And that way, at
Yeah.
least if I can build, so if I build maybe 4 machines, 3 to 4 machines, and then
Right.
my game's over, that's cool. Because then it's just like, they do some really cool stuff.
Right, yeah.
But they really didn't do a lot of cool stuff. They just do some little extra power stuff and kind of bonus moves
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But
I mean, I feel like mine work together. okay.
Yeah,
But some of them didn't. Like, it was like, I don't really care if I can use an engineer of any suit to copy. Whatever. And I just covered it up.
Just cover it up, right?
But
so,
I wanted them for the points, really. It's
that's
all I
really what it is.
got
It comes
them
down to
for,
just, am I going to build something so I can get more points at
Yeah.
the end of the game? So I don't know. But
Okay.
anyway.
Anyway, I think that pretty much does it.
Yeah, the intent here was really just to give you a feel of what this game's about. You know, and not every game is for us.
Yeah.
Not every game is for you.
Right.
We're not here to tell you whether or not you like the game. We're just
Right.
going to tell you whether or not we like the game, and kind of explain the experience we had with it. You know, every game we play is enjoyable.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's been a few.
'Cause I'm playing with you.
There's been a few duds out there, but this definitely is not the dud category. I think it's a good quality game. I think the components
Solid, yeah.
are nice, the art's nice, the iconography is a little bit rough in certain aspects. The rule book's a little bit rough in certain
Yeah.
aspects,
A little bit.
but I think it's not an overly complex game. It just has some mechanics that are really not typical.
Yeah.
And I think
Which is refreshing in a way.
Which is refreshing, and I think that's it was a nice challenge to learn this one and to play through it, only to find out that, you know, did we love the game? I was lukewarm on it, and that's really just what it boils down to. I don't love every game I play. You know, that's just how
What
it
it
is.
boils down to.
Yeah, that's what it boils. You see what I did there? But otherwise, I think that was pretty much all I
Yeah.
wanted to
I think
talk
so.
about. You do. All right, so we hope you enjoyed the playthrough. We hope you enjoyed the new format
Yeah.
of the playthrough, because I think this really speaks to the direction we're heading, because I think the full drawn out 2-hour plus playthrough for us, at least for you guys, like maybe some of you love it, most of you don't watch it.
Yeah.
So I think to give you guys the most important bits and pieces of the playthrough, so that you can take away the best experience of it without having to sit through a 2-hour
Yeah.
playthrough, is to me is the most value for what you have. And I think, and if you want to watch full playthroughs, there are a dime a dozen out there.
Yeah.
You have a whole cornucopia, a whole plethora of options.
Yes.
So,
But let us know what you think. Again, if this was helpful for you in making a decision whether or not you want this in your collection. Whoops, I just kicked steam all over the place. Let us know in the comments if you have questions about our experience with it. Let us know in the comments as well. And then let us know what you think of the new format too.
all right. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you.